During World War II, infantry moved through half-tracks such as the German SDKFZ 251 and the American M3. These were meant to transport infantry closer to the battle and protect them from small arms fire and shrapnel. In the early Cold War, NATO was using M113 APC, also known as an armored personnel carrier. These APCs have machine guns like a 7.62 or a 50 caliber. These guns were meant to engage enemy personnel. But to access the guns, the crew had to expose themselves, and these made them vulnerable to enemy fire. So the need for an APC engaging the enemy without exposing the crew was recognized by both NATO and the Soviets. These would eventually be known as IFVs, short for Infantry Fighting Vehicle. It is these IFVs such as M2 Bradley and the BMP series starting to get more useful in the Russo-Ukraine War. But first we will go over the history of the first IFVs and their development. The Soviets realized that in previous wars that safe movement of troops along with tanks proved critical in suppressing the enemy lines. So to preserve infantry, a new line of vehicle was produced in 1966. The BMP-1. Often called the first IFV. The BMP-1 was revolutionary design as it was simple and cheap, so they could mass produce them. The BMP-1 could carry a squadron and was armored to resist small arms fire. It had a 73mm 2A28 cannon, which is basically a RPG-7. It could fire heat and HE grenade and also a 9M14 ATGM, NATO reporting name AT-3 Sager. Later variants were equipped with a 9K111 Faggot ATGM. The BMP allowed for dismounting troops near enemy lines and also engaging them from the vehicle. These would be further developed into the BMP-2, BMP-3, and BMD-4. Just like the M103 was made to counter the IS-3, the Bradley was made to counter the BMP-1. The Bradley is arguably one of, if not the best, IFV. In the early stages it was criticized for being too lightly armored and poor survivability, as the Bradley was basically a modified M113 APC. They took the M113 and added a better engine, more armor, and a turret with a 25mm Bushmaster autocannon, a 7.62 machine gun, and a tow missile launcher. Production variants came with a bit more armor to resist 30mm autocannon, such as on the BMP-2. The Bradley proved its capabilities during Operation Desert Storm and the war between Russia and Ukraine. During the war, Ukrainian forces would deploy the Bradley for their operations, as the Bradley could engage multiple targets at once. This was thanks to its 25mm Bushmaster autocannon paired with high explosive belts for engaging infantry and APFSDS belts for light targets. For heavier vehicles like tanks, a tow missile would be used. The Bradley was even able to take down a T-90M, Russia's latest medium tank. The design of the Bradley would influence other nations' IFV. NATO countries and other nations would also push the concept of IFV and blurring the line between light tanks. Other mass-produced IFVs such as the German Puma and Martyr series, British Warrior IFV, Swedish CV90 series, French AMX-10P, Chinese ZBD-04, are some of the most common IFVs around the world. These are used for the same purpose: preservation of friendly infantry and elimination of enemy infantry. Some IFVs have IRST and proximity fuse shell like on the Puma and CV90, meaning they could engage aircraft like helicopters. These make them multipurpose and great for supporting MBTs, as they both have similar speed. This increased the survivability of IFVs, as the enemy would be focusing their fire on tanks with heavier armor and armaments. In short, IFVs would be deployed with infantry along MBTs to perform various tasks like reconnaissance, eliminating infantry, fire support, and anti-air roles. From humble origins to jacks of all trades, IFVs are used by most military around the world. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.